So much of your music is almost about like creating like a feel or a mood or an atmosphere or a tone. But with like you don't really obviously have lyrics, so there's no way to kind of link everything together. Where's the kind of jumping off point for starting a song and creating
Um,
that atmosphere?
well, yeah, I think with the songs that we make, it normally just starts off with kind of one idea, like someone will come up with one guitar riff, um, and then we just kind of jam it out together. Um, we kind of just, we kind of just, it's never really we're shooting for a particular mood or anything. It's more just kind of where it flows next, really, in that way. Um, it's never really about music theory or anything. It's just about creating something that we think sounds good. I mean, it sounds nothing really fancy about it.
Yeah. Where do you like turn to for inspiration with the music that you're making? Like, is it obviously it's like a form of self-expression, but with obviously the kind of natural way to do that would be with words. How do you
Mm-hmm.
like kind of translate your thoughts into music and what you're feeling into music?
I think it's more of like a primal thing. You kind of, with me at least, when I play a guitar riff or something, or I play like a more melodic sort of ambient thing, it's kind of you kind of just channel how you're playing the guitar, with like channel your emotions into how you're playing the guitar. Um, it's more just kind of, it's hard to describe. It's like it's more, it's less just a vocal. We can't obviously vocalize things, um, so it's more just like how we play the instruments really communicates the emotion. At least we hope to an audience.
Yeah. You know, are you almost like communicating with each other in the band through the instruments that you're playing when you're on stage?
Yeah, we like to have fun with it. We like to kind of get. We'll be playing these riffs, and like there's opportunities for a little bit of improvisation, or someone just does something stupid, like we'll sync up with something that we've never done before, and we just have a bit of a laugh with it, really.
What role do you think each member in the band like plays in creating the stage presence? Is it all quite individual roles that come together to build a collective?
Um, well, I think it's just when we normally go about our stage presence, we don't really. It's not really a pre-planned thing. We just kind of, with the music, we didn't really want to cater too much to being radio friendly, or cater too much to being like a little bit accessible or anything. So with our stage presence, we want to kind of be like that kind of natural way that our songs are, where it's just kind of flowing through to different ideas, not really caring about the length of these ideas, just seeing how it feels, how the atmosphere um, kind of comes on. Um, yeah, we kind of just do what comes naturally on stage, really.
Yeah. Had you been in musical projects before this one as well?
Yes, but some of them weren't as good as others. I was, I mean, we've all been kind of in different things before this. I mean, Finley, our bassist, was in a jazz band, well, still is, called Hamlet. Um, so he's got more of a jazz background. Murray has been in a few like rock bands and stuff, and like he's only really been in a rock band that's been taking things seriously since he joined Karma for Vandals. Duncan, I've been playing music with Duncan since we were 12 years old. Um, we've been kind of just been making these stupid little ambient things together for about 10, 10, 11 years. Um, and the time just seemed right. We had the connections, and we were just wanted to try something a bit, little more left field with something like this. But me personally, I've been in metal bands, I've been in funk bands, I've been in my first band was with Duncan. It was just kind of like a three-piece rock band, kind of a rip off of Red Hot Chili Peppers. But yeah, we think all those influences and those backgrounds, when it comes together, that's kind of what creates the sound of Karma for Vandals.
What did you guys bond over when you first kind of got together? You've all got quite different influences.
Mm.
What sort of stuff were you bonding over? Is there a bit of crossover, or?
I think it's more just we bonded over the fact that we're all into very different genres, but we are all very open minded to different genres. Um, we wouldn't, while we're very influenced obviously by post rock bands like This Will Destroy You, Sigur Rós, um, Caspian, people like that. There's a lot of different genres that we wanted to bring into it. Like Mike, our original bass, is very into math rock. Um, and we're also very into trip hop, like Massive Attack. Um, we're also very much into metal, post metal. There's funk, grunge. Like we just want to kind of, we didn't really want to put a label of post rock on it, although we are a post rock band. We didn't really want to, when we started writing songs, put a label to it. Just see how it came out when we all came together, and it came out as post rock.
Yeah. You obviously mentioned that you've been in other bands before, and we spoke a bit about that. And this one obviously is just an instrumental band. Do you think music connects people in a different way to words?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the the big difference that I've gotten, at least with people's reactions to the music, was they could apply any meaning they wanted to the music. Um, Whereas vocals, you're directly sending the message to the listener. But with instrumental music, you can kind of anyone can apply their own message to it. Anyone can, like, if they're feeling down about something, if they're feeling great about something, they can get whatever they like out of the music. It's really down to the individual, which is what's so interesting, I find, when I talk to people after gigs.
Do you find we'll all get quite different things from it when you speak to them
Um,
about it?
yeah, like people get a, like quite an emotional thing about it. People have been like coming up to me, and bear in mind they were very drunk, but they come up to me and they're going like, "Oh, that song is just like, I wasn't even listening at points. I was just thinking about the universe and my own life." Um, so the reactions have been really interesting. Whereas in other bands, it's been kind of, it's been your band's really good or your band's shit. But
What comes to your mind when you're playing it on stage? Like obviously those people they'll plan it to their own life and go to different places. What are you thinking about when you're on stage? Are you just focusing on the music, or are you thinking about other things as well?
I'm thinking about not fucking up. um, no, I mean, like, I just get kind of, it's more I feel kind of emotion with it when playing, but it's more just having fun with it. I'm not really thinking about anything deeper than that, other than playing the songs justice and hoping people out there in the audience respond to it.
And the new single that you have coming out soon
Hmm.
opens with a sample.
Yes.
What's that sample from? Or it doesn't even open with a sample. The sample kind of carries the whole way through it.
Yeah. The sound bites that are in it. It's from a nature documentary from the 1950s, just called "The Power of Nature," um, and we found it really sank up well with the intro to the Starfish song. Um, there's two samples in it. There's the beginning, the vocal sample, and then at the end, there's a song that plays at the end that is actually just called the Starfish song. Um, that's where we got the title from. And I think the lyrics go this, what the starfish may look important, lying simply in his underwater shell. He may look important, but he's very interesting to himself. Um, I don't know. What's really come out of what the message people are really taking from the song is kind of obviously a take on nature, and we just felt that really summed it up well in a very simple way what we were trying to communicate.
You mentioned song titles there as
Hmm.
well. I've got to ask where some of them come from because they're quite interesting. You've got a lot of left field song title choices.
Yeah, we kind of, it all just really comes from we don't really take ourselves that seriously. So when it comes to song titles, the fact that we don't have vocals or lyrics, we can just name it whatever we want. So we got a few that are just songs that we don't even play anymore that we just like the names. There used to have a song called DRD, The Ins and Outs of Combat Juggling. And I think that was because our bassist was in the Circus Society and we found a sport online called combat juggling where they throw they throw skittles at each other whilst also juggling, and they have to the person who drops the skittle first loses. Um, I mean, with the Starfish song, because of the soundbite, really. Um, on the EP, there's 4 tracks, and there's The Last King of Scotland. Um, and I couldn't explain that title to you. It's more our guitarist who made that song title, Duncan. And next is Voa, which was originally called kalimba, because we use a kalimba on that song, which is a small African instrument. And it was said to being called the voice of the ancestors, which the initials spell Voa, and that's the title of the EP and that track. And Boomwhackers, Boomwhackers, that like, let me tell you, they're just like these little tubes that are pitched to a note, and you hit off the wall, and it just does that note, dong, like that. And we just found the sound of them so funny that we just thought it'd be great if we just called this really serious, really ambient post-rock song, this 8-minute long thing, we just compare it to this tiny little tube. So that's how that came about, really.
Where do you think is the strangest place you've taken inspiration for a song title from?
Well, the combat juggling definitely comes to mind. Our other song titles. Yeah, there's. I mean, like we've just called stuff how it came out in the room. Like one of our songs that we played, I think live once, was called the Slow Filthy One, because we like to make fun of our bassist Mike, because sometimes he'll just say really wanky things about the songs we do. And we played the riff to this one song, and he goes, "Oh, that is a slow, filthy one." And from there, we were just like, it's nothing else, it's the slow, filthy one.
You, when we started off this conversation, obviously speaking about the way that the songs begin life, you said you don't really go for like a vibe or a feeling with them when you're creating them. Do you tend to like and apply an emotion afterwards? Do you get that from it afterwards? Or?
I mean, like from how the song sounds when we record it and listen to it back, we kind of apply messages to it. Like the Starfish song never really started as a song about the power of nature or anything like that. It just started off as this ambient groovy idea we had, and from there we kind of found the nature documentary, put it over the track, and we found that it really syncs up well. And I think it's more, we take the song where it needs to go, we finish the song, and then after that, once we listen to it back, kind of analyze it a bit, that's when we would add sound bites, add messages, like that sort of thing, to kind of give it more of a direct meaning.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.